Hey guys, it's Ellie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I do my acrylic nails at home. They're super pretty and sleek and shiny. So I do use a nice acrylic dip kit. It is the Kiss one. It's really cheap, less than $20, but it is super nice. I love it so much. I only use a few extra things, which is like alcohol, some nail oil, cuticle oil, a gel top coat that needs to be cured in a lamp, a brush to like get all the acrylic off your nails that you don't need there and stuff like that. But primarily I do use the kit and I'm super excited to show you guys, so let's get started. So the first step I did was prep my nail. So to prep my nail, I push back my cuticles, and to do this I used the orange stick that came in a different kit that I had. The kit was by Kiss. I'm not sure what one it was, but the kit that I used in this video also has an orange stick. It is just a really tiny one, so I decided to use this one. The next thing I did was take a file and take the gentle side of it and rough up my nail a little bit and take off all the shine. This will just make sure that you do not have any lifting. It gets all the oils off your nail, which is why you don't want any shine on it. So make sure you get on those corners, on all the sides, and near the cuticle. Next up, I took a tissue with some alcohol on it just to get off all the dust. I used a tissue because I ran out of cotton balls, so I just folded one up and taking off all the filing dust from my nails. The next thing I did was get some tips and I fit them to my nail, making sure that it was not hanging off and it was not too small to the point where I had to push the nail on to make it fit. I wanted it to go side to side and fit perfectly, so I took a few times to get the right size nail. I chose to do the white tips instead of the natural tips because I wanted to try to see if it would look better and get me the look that I wanted, but I went to natural tips after I did one nail with the white tip because I decided that the natural tips would look better. Next up, I started gluing the tips onto my fingernails. I just used the glue that came with the tips that I bought, and I would do one little drop in the well of the nail and then I would spread it around with the tip. And to put the nail on, I put it at an angle and then pressed it on so that there would be no air bubbles, and that would cause lifting, which is why you do not want them. And again, I was just trying out the natural tips, so I only did one finger at a time. And right here you see me pressing in the sides so that they do not have any air bubbles. And then if any glue presses out, I took my cuticle stick and I would scrape that off so it does not get on my skin. Now I'm just taking a pair of scissors and cutting the nail length down so that I don't have to do a ton of filing. And here now I am cutting the sides so that I also don't have to do a ton of filing on the sides to get my shape. So I'm just cutting in the sides to get that perfect coffin shape, and later I will file all of that down. Now I will just file until I get the shape that I like, and I also go in and trim it down a little more with the scissors. So I just keep going back and forth between filing and trimming until I see the shape that I like. Before I started dipping, I filed down the divot that it created with my nail, that little ridge. I filed that down to be flush with my nail so that it would not stick out of the dip powder and I wouldn't have to file it off later. And now I am just pouring the acrylic powder into the dip jar so that I can easily dip my finger in there, and I pour the whole thing just to make sure that I have enough and I don't have to keep filling it up. I am now putting on a primer. This is just one that is by Kiss, and I just put it on my natural nail. There's no need to put it on the tip. Now taking the base gel from the kit, I am going to paint that on 3/4 of my nail, getting just below the tip onto my nail so that I can start creating a structure. I will take the dip powder and I will put my finger in it right away at an angle so that the powder does not disrupt the gel that we put on. Then I flip my finger over and tap off all the excess, and there I am showing you that it is only 3/4 of the nail. And next I will take my brush and brush off all that dust that is left over there, because I don't like having it sit there and then the nails look very chunky and they are very hard to file. And then I will be taking my base gel again and painting it all over the nail this time, getting close to the cuticle but not touching the skin at all. If you get some on your skin, make sure you wipe that off with your cuticle stick right away so that you do not get any acrylic on your skin. I repeat that last step again. I take the base gel and I paint it over my entire nail, and then I dip back into the powder and I brush it off with my brush. And now I drop my base gel. And I was kind of freaking out because I didn't dip my finger yet and it was still wet. So there's that. The next step to getting your acrylic to cure up and become hard is to apply the activator. So I am just applying a very generous amount of this to make sure that it cures all the way through. If you do not apply enough of this, when you are filing, you will get the sticky acrylic in there and it will start making holes in your acrylic. So make sure you put a good amount of activator on it and let it dry and sit for a little bit. Here I'm just making sure the acrylic is cured and dry and that it is hard enough to start filing. So to do this, you can tap it on a hard surface to make sure it makes a clicking sound, and then that means it is dry and ready to file. So now I'm just going to file it to my desired shape and to make sure that the top is very smooth and there are no bumps or anything like that. I am gently, very gently, filing around the cuticle and around the sides of my nails because I do want that to be the thinnest part of the nail. I do not want that part to be bulky because I'm going for a thin, sleek look. I found that the best way to do my nails was to use the natural tips, and I cut some of the well off because the well for these tips were very big and I did not like that, so I cut that off a little bit and then I filed the sharp edges so that there would not be so much tip on my nail. There would be more acrylic on my nail. Then I would glue that nail on and do all the steps I did before with cutting and filing to the shape I like, and then putting the acrylic dip powder on. Again, going in with my primer just on my nail bed, and then I will be taking my base gel and doing 3/4 of the nail, again just below the tip, and then dipping into my powder and also doing 2 other layers on my full nail. I'm not sure if I got this in the video, but after you are done filing down the acrylic to your desired shape, you will want to go back in with the activator and then wipe it off with a lint-free cloth with some alcohol on it, just to get off that excess activator. And now I'll just speed up the process for you. I am doing the exact same steps with filing to my shape, putting my primer on, and then doing 3/4 of the nail with the base gel, sticking it into the powder, and then doing 2 layers on my entire nail, and then filing it all. So now I am back a few hours later. I had to go eat with my grandma, and I am just taking a gel top coat that I have that has to cure under an LED lamp, and there I am spilling another thing. I spilled all the activator. But I am taking the base gel and I am going to paint that over my nails and then cure it in the lamp for 30 seconds. Once I'm done curing my top gel in the lamp, I wipe off the sticky layer with some alcohol on a tissue, and here are the final nails. I really love them. I really like how they turned out this time. I think they are really pretty, and I hope you guys like this tutorial. Alright guys, that is how I do my acrylic nails at home. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and like and comment down below what you would like to see on my channel. Bye!